Hey, this is Aaron with Superior Singing Method, and this is 10 singing techniques to improve your voice. All right, 10 singing techniques to improve your voice. We're going to get through some stuff here, and this is going to be a lot of fun. As you're going through it, just keep in mind that if you want really fleshed out versions of these, my Superior Singing Method course talks a lot about a lot of these things and really fleshes it out. But I'm going to give you enough today to really get you started and to give you a nice little overview. Now, what I want for you, and part of what these 10 techniques that I want to help you do, is to help you sing effortlessly and free, and then right in that pocket, that joy of singing effortlessly and free that makes singing worth doing. Now there's all, the high notes and all the runs and all that crazy stuff that you'll hear like Christina Aguilera or whatever do like in one little part of this song and that song and different people. All that stuff is great, but since that's only like 1% of the actual singing for her and for really anybody, all the 99% is that effortless free singing. That's what I want for you, and that's what's going to happen once you get a lot of these techniques down. This morning on the radio, I was listening to that Justin Bieber Chance the Rapper song, and I was like, that's kind of the idea. He's like, 'cause the way that the sky opens up when we touch, it's making me say that the way you hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me, feels so holy, 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 holy. There's just like this really effortless, bouncing between note and note and some of the higher notes and lower notes, but it's just this effortless singing. That's what I want for you with these techniques. So let's jump right in. Actually, before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the channel, get the videos, and, hit the notification bell. I'm actually doing a lot more videos right now, a lot more often, once or twice even a week. So if you want to be notified, hit that notification bell and like the video and leave me a comment. I love seeing your guys' comments. You guys have very hilarious things to say. Some of you are very serious, and that's great too, and I want to help. But I love reading all those. Okay, so let's jump in. The first one, this is one of 10. So we're gonna get through these really fun things. And what I wanna do is I wanna give you the simplest things that you can apply immediately so that your singing could change right away. Because obviously, and this is, let me just skip ahead to number 10. If you're doing regular vocal exercises, warm-ups and advanced exercise, and you're doing those for a period of time every day, that's how long-term you're gonna really get better. So that's number 10. That's a little sneak preview to number 10, but I want to give you a couple things that are going to help you right now. First one is your posture. Now, what is good posture? Now, I don't want you posture isn't like puffing out your chest and having it super high. It's just like, if you grab your arms, put your arms back and grab your forearms, each of your forearms with your hand, right there is about the posture that you want to be for good singing. Because what that does, that allows plenty of space here to get air, okay? So that's the first one. Second one is, I like this exercise. It's basically it's called smelling a rose, I guess I call it. I don't even know if I have a name for it. But I want you to imagine you're smelling a rose. And notice how you feel physiologically when you're smelling that rose. Notice how open your sinuses are. Notice how open your throat is. And also notice how full and expansive your chest and your midsection here becomes. Try it again. That feeling, that openness, right? Hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me. That openness, that's where that freedom comes from, that resonance. So that feeling that you have smelling that rose, that's the idea that I want for you when you're singing, okay? So you can apply that to whatever you're doing right now, your exercises, when you're singing to the radio, whatever. The third one is your jaw. And this is kind of part 3 and part 4, but the first one is the jaw. I want you to make sure that your jaw is open when you sing. That it's not clenched, it's not tense here, but it's nice and free flowing. I actually do this exercise, or I just go, or I go before I sing, because I want to loosen up that jaw. Because if it's tense, there's not going to be this freedom of sound. It's going to feel nice and tense, which leads us to number 4 is your mouth. You got to open your mouth. If I had $1 for every singer I heard, and there's a certain insecurity, and they're just not opening up their mouth, and they're trying to do, hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me. It's all here and it doesn't go anywhere. It's not out and resonant because they're not opening their mouth for whatever reason. Make sure to open your mouth. You don't need to open it wide and be silly. It's not that, but just make sure you open up your mouth, right? Hold me, hold me, hold me. Holy, holy, holy. When it's open, you hear it more clearly and it's more resonant. You got that? Cool. 5, air. I had a teacher in one of my vocal training classes used to say there's 3 most important things in singing. It's air and air and air. It really is having the amount of air. I even noticed, like, when I'm starting to sing that song, because the way that the sky opens up when we touch, it's making me say. I noticed that I'm running out of air toward the end of there, so it's making the notes want to go a little flat. So make sure you have enough air, and that doesn't mean tanking up and getting a bunch of air, because if you get too much air, then it's going to want to force its way out, and you're going to lose it even quicker, and you're going to blow through those notes. But having a nice amount of air and getting that posture is one thing that's going to help. And then this number 6, we're going to talk about the diaphragm for a second, but having enough air and pacing the amount of air. Sometimes if you're singing a song all the way through and you notice that you're losing your breath in certain parts, even mapping out where you're going to take breaths can be really important for you. I remember having to do that for some songs when I was singing live a lot more often. So diaphragm. So notice the difference when I go the difference with that and this. So this is just singing from my throat. This is singing from my belly and diaphragm. There's just a lot more going on. It's more supported is what a lot of singers call it. Support, you need support in your voice. All they mean is that it's supported by the diaphragm and you have enough air coming here. So I don't want you singing here, because it's just gonna sound flat and thin and not resonance. I want you singing from here, here. So that's diaphragm singing. The way you do that, again, that posture is a big way you do that, and taking a nice breath. When you take in that breath, when you have the right posture, it displaces your organs and opens up that space so that your lungs can expand in that space. Because that goes back to number 5, right? Getting enough air, and that's all going to help you. Okay. Number 7, we're getting through these, right? Again, I flesh these out way more, and I have a million exercises for you and stuff in the Superior Singing Method program. And if you click the link below, I actually have a singing killer quiz. So I have a lot of resources for you, but I just want to give you these 10 techniques because I think these are going to be really valuable for you. So number 7, warm down exercise. You may not even ever heard of warm down exercises. In fact, when I first started singing, I wasn't even familiar with warm down. It was just warm-up exercises, right? Warm down exercises are generally after you sing hard, or you done vocal exercise hard, or you did a show and you kind of feel like you're blowing your voice out. Good warm down exercises start from the top of your range and go down versus the other way around, which is going into number 8. It's warm-up exercises. Warm-up exercises usually start low and build their way up. Warm down, start high. So one warm down exercise might be like or like so like any classic type of exercise, starting from the top and lightly letting it fade all the way down. That's a good warm down exercise to heal your voice and get it back connected when you've blown it out. Which brings us to warm-up exercise, right? There are a million warm-up exercises. I have 6 zillion exercises in my Superior Singing Method program. And I even have this vocal coaching club where if you're part of the vocal coaching club, I have a million exercises in the course, and then I send you a new set every single month, so you have that vocal confusion and you have that constant challenge for your voice. You're not always doing the same type, so your voice is constantly being challenged and growing and building and all that stuff. So warm-up exercises, I mean, I didn't even plan any, but you get the idea. Some of those ones that I was saying, the brrr, or the mama mums, or the nay nay nays, or there's a million different types of warm-up exercises. And then what else? This is kind of an odd one. Now, this is something that opera singers will do sometimes. Not that you want to sound like an opera singer. Maybe you do. My wife's an opera singer, and she's amazing. And so if you can't sing a note, and I'm not talking like Oh, my range is up here and I want to sing up, you know, an octave above that or whatever. But if there's just like, man, I can sing up here, but there's like a note right above that or a couple just above that that I want to be able to sing that I can't quite hit. There's something that happens psychologically when you bend forward or you just squat down while you're doing that note. I know that sounds crazy. Trust me. That sounds crazy, but just try it. There's something physiologically that happens when you're focusing on what you're doing with your body and not trying so hard to hit a note that your voice relaxes a bit and is able to sing higher notes. So just try that. That's kind of a fun little trick technique. Number 10, we already talked a little bit about number 10. That's regular vocal exercises. I'm a huge proponent of regular vocal exercises. Even if you're just doing like 2 or 3 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, even if you're doing 2 or 3 minutes 3 times a week or something, but that regular consistency. I'm just big on consistency with anything. If you know anything about anything I ever do and say and into my motivation stuff, I'm more about the tortoise than the hare, right? Remember that old story, the turtle and the hare? It's like the tortoise just keeps going slowly and the rabbit's like goes fast and takes a nap and gets all this stuff. But the tortoise ends up winning. I'm all about that, just steady consistency. You don't need to kill yourself. Just do a little bit over a period of time and you get massive results. So I'm a super huge fan of that. Again, go to my Superior Singing Method. You can get a million exercises there. I mentioned the Singing Killer Quiz. If you click the link below, this is kind of a fun thing. We actually just changed it. We just redid our algorithm too. Over 1 million people have gone through our Singing Killer Quiz. It's probably like 1.3 million people that have gone through it now. And we just revamped some stuff to make it even better, even more specific, and even more custom made to help you find out what your number one singing killer is. If you can find out what your number one singing killer is, because there are a bunch of different ones, but what is yours specifically, it's gonna help you get rid of some of that bottleneck that may be hurting you with your singing. So click the link below, take the quiz, it'll take about 30 seconds. And then once you find out what your number one singing killer is, I'm gonna send you a free video that's tailor-made to you and your specific number one singing killer and help you fix it, because I want you to get better. And then you can start applying all these techniques. And then if you want, I've got Superior Singing Method and the Vocal Coach. I've got all kinds of resources for you, but here's a good start, and the Singing Killer Quiz actually is an even better start than some of this stuff to get rid of any blocks. Can't remember where I pointed before, but remember to hit the notification bell, because you want to be notified when I'm doing new videos, because I'm doing a bunch more. Subscribe and leave me a comment. I always love hearing what you have to say. Click the link below, take the Singing Killer Quiz, and I'll see you soon.